Welcome back to Second and Short. It is Friday, March 7th, 2025. Luke's in here in person because it's spring break for him at UGA. Luke, how you doing today?
I'm great. Weather is crazy.
Yeah, the weather's weird.
So
Last
windy.
night, dude, yeah.
So cold.
So windy. I looked at the weather, I was like, oh, like 45 degrees. It was like late afternoon, it was like 45 degrees. I was about to run to Walmart. And then I clicked on the app for real. And it's like feels like 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta actually put on clothes.
There genuinely is not enough lotion or chapstick in the world right now for how I'm feeling.
Not at all. And there's so much going on in the sports world as well. It's been chaos. The NFL news just flying off the rails. It is unbelievable. We weren't even going to talk about free agency stuff today. We have to.
Yeah.
We literally have to. And free agency doesn't even start technically until the 12th, which is even crazier. The MLB season quickly approaching. Just 3 weeks until opening day. As of today, when we're recording, is exactly 3 weeks.
Hell yeah.
Champions League round of 16. First legs have been played. Second legs next week that we got to talk about. And then, of course, Premier League season continues. It's pretty much all but won by Liverpool at this point. But the rest of the race is extremely tight. When you look at 2 to 10, I think there's a 6-point split.
That's insane.
Very close, up and down. So a lot of movement around there. Especially if Liverpool goes on to win the Champions League and they get an extra Champions League spot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to really shake things up in the Premier League race.
Oh, for sure.
We've got a lot of things to cover today. We're starting off our season grades from last season of for the NFL. So AFC West season grades today. Going to cover some NFL news. I'm going to try and keep that part brief. I know whenever I say that, it's when I end up going too long, but Nathan's going to hold me accountable on that one. AL West preview today. So Colin and I did NL West preview last week, or on Monday. Me and Luke, AL West preview this week. We got Central and East the next 2 weeks. Premier League weekend, of course. Champions League round of 16. And we'll round it out with questions time. We got Nathan's here in person to give us these questions. And I think he said he has a guess who for us within questions time. So we'll look forward to that. Luke, anything we need to cover before we get into AFC West season grades? We'll hit the NFL news after this.
I honestly don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of news. So I kind of had to think on my feet this morning on how we wanted to cover things.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start out with what we were intending to do today, which is our AFC West season grades. Do you want to go top to bottom or bottom to top?
Let's go bottom to top.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll start off with the Raiders, which I'm so glad you chose to do that because I have to just rub it in your face. I have to. Dude, I before we even get into our grades, I urge everybody to go back and watch what Luke said about this team in particular in our preview of the division. I made a clip out of it at the time because I thought it was so egregious, and boy, was I right.
Hey, we're clip farming here. Right?
Let me give you a couple of just quick phrases that were said. High on Gardner Minshew.
He's got the receipts.
High on Gardner Minshew. Excited for Zamir White. I think the defense will be a lot better. He has Devontae Adams. It's just a funny thing to think about. That was a good one as well. Yeah. Horrendous take by you.
Appreciate
calling them your dark horses to win this division.
Yeah.
Bonus points for me that I'll get to with the Chiefs. I said no dark horse. The Chiefs are winning this division. They won it by 4 games, so I feel pretty good about that one. Yeah, the Raiders 4-13 this season. What's your grade for their season?
F minus Z kind of territory.
Yeah.
28th in points scored, 27th total offense, 32nd in rushing yards. How about that high on Zamir White take, huh?
Yep.
And then defensively, not much better. 15th in total yards, 13th in rushing yards against. Kind of all right there.
They did their thing with a couple things. They were okay.
Yeah. 25th in points against. Literally, like all around horrible football team. Essentially minus Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, and Robert Spillane. Those are like the only 3 standout players.
Yeah, there was like a couple other guys that did their thing on the defensive side.
Even Mad Max, and we'll get to his extension
he only played
later.
12 games.
Only played 12 games, but definitely an off year if you watched any Mad Max.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean, he's getting double teamed at all times because that whole defensive line sucked. By the way, another thing you were excited for was who was it? Did they sign? Was it Clelin Ferrell? No, Christian Wilkins.
Oh,
non-existent.
Yeah, non-existent signing there, and they're paying him a lot of damn money.
Yeah. I think he was hurt all season.
Yeah,
he played 5 games.
It just
that was another miss right there. But they had a couple guys on defense I think were fine. Jack Jones was pretty solid. Trayvon Mooring, the safety, was pretty good.
Yeah,
but
sure.
yeah, I think other than my main guys on offense, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, and the occasional game from Trey Tucker, everybody else on the offense was extremely disappointing. I mean, the whole running game was so disappointing. All the quarterbacks that we saw, I think we saw 3 different quarterbacks throughout the year.
That's actually
4.
a crazy stat.
Well, no, AJ Cole threw 1 pass.
Nathan, if you want to scroll back down, they had 2 receivers go over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, Jacoby Myers was wide receiver 2 for what? The first half of the season?
Yeah.
But I guess Devontae Adams only played 3 games because he was hurt. So you take a couple games out, but also Jacoby missed 2 games. Jacoby Myers had a fantastic year.
Oh, for sure.
And you definitely can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing, so I give the Raiders a D-.
What?
So the reason being is that a C is an average season. An F is literally like you're the worst. They weren't even bad enough to get a good pick. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like an F is like you literally tried to not win. The Raiders just had such a bad roster with a bad head coach, a really bad coaching staff in general, a bad GM, by the way. They hired the GM. They got fired by the Chargers. I mean, why would that have made sense?
Yeah.
Everything across the board was just set up for failure. I mean, their win total was 6.5. They won 4. It just all sucked. Like everything about the Raiders sucked. So I knew that they weren't going to be good.
Yeah.
So a D- on the season, when you weigh the fact that the expectations were so low, and especially my expectations for them were so low, it's really not like that crazy. And you at least got this one good thing out of this, which is that you might have the best tight end in the league.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing. You might have the best tight end in the entire NFL.
Yeah. For sure.
And Jacoby Myers is great. So that's going to help with whatever quarterback you end up having next year.
Yeah.
So I give him a D-.
Okay.
Do we want to move to third place in the division?
Yes.
The Denver Broncos.
So kind of grading off of expectation here, I gave the Broncos an A-.
Okay. I give him an A.
Yeah.
I'm even higher.
So offensively, rookie quarterback that, I feel like no one really expected him to be as good as he was, considering the other quarterbacks that were in that class. Yeah. They were 10th in points scored, 19th in total yards, 20th in passing yards, 16th in rushing yards, but they were still able to get it done offensively.
Oh, yeah.
But their defense, Grayson, 3rd in points against, 7th in total yards against, 3rd in rushing yards against, 1st in sacks, and not even like a really like a sack guy, just a whole team effort. It was insane. The pass rush was coming from everywhere.
Led the way in sacks on that team.
May have been, and then 8th in interceptions.
Yeah. Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper.
Yeah,
13.5, 10.5 respectively. It's unbelievable. Zach Allen at 8.5.
Exactly, and to John Gruden's point, name a person off the Broncos defense.
Yeah, that's not Pat Surtain.
You can't.
Yeah,
and they were good.
Yeah, I mean nobody believed that this team would win 10 games. Nobody believed this team was going to make the playoffs, or even just that they would be this good on either side of the ball.
For sure.
Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
And obviously, the team was successful. And I think all of that can be attributed to Sean Payton and his staff.
Oh, for sure.
When you come into a season like this, where you've got one star player, and everybody else is kind of unknown, it's kind of up in the air, or we just know that they're not that great, coming into this season, and then you come out of this season, and maybe you still say, okay, they really only still have one star player in Pat Surtain, but they've got like 7 guys that are on the precipice. Like Bo Nix might be trending in that direction. Cortland Sutton, 1,000 yards, like it's nothing, over and over and over again. I love Marvin Mims. In those last couple games of the season, makes me think Marvin Mims might just like really have a breakout year this coming season.
What was it, that touchdown reception against the Bengals? That was just crazy.
Well, he forced overtime in that game, and then scored another touchdown in overtime.
Insane.
I think unbelievable for Marvin Mims late in the season. And I think, obviously, Nix was great, and that was such a great surprise. And this defensive line might have really just been the biggest surprise of the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I really like the multiple wide receivers were contributing. I mean, Cortland Sutton, obviously, number one option. Makes sense. He's been around the longest. He has had good years in this league.
Yeah.
Marvin Mims is young. He had a great year, and he's got 6 touchdowns. Devon Vele came out of nowhere. He was a guy that I liked in the draft class. He was awesome. I mean, guys just contributed where they could. Now, the running game is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the running game is so bad. And also, you have Adam Troutman as your main tight end, who's kind of a fullback tight end guy that came from New Orleans with Sean Payton. So, like, it makes sense, but also I do have a feeling they'll get a real tight end next year. But like the fact that you did this with this roster
is incredible.
Looking for and the cap hell that they were in from cutting Russell Wilson. I mean, they had no money to spend.
Yeah.
And they still put this together. Makes me think, okay, well, if they have a big offseason, what's the next step for the Broncos? It's unbelievable. But I give them an A for the season.
What's crazy to think is like one of the first clips that I remember this podcast releasing that I was a part of, I was like, the Broncos just shot themselves in the foot for years with Russell Wilson. But they did a good job digging themselves out of the hole. And one thing that we haven't mentioned yet is we have talked about Pat Surtain, but they also had Defensive Player of the Year on their team as well.
What?
Pat Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, of course. That's so.
I just feel like we had to say that with his name when we talk about the Broncos. So, shout out Denver, man.
Yeah, the running game, bad.
Horrible.
Bad. But you didn't need it. I mean, Bo Nix was chucking the ball all over the place. Okay, let's move on to the Chargers. Second in the division. I got them at a B+.
Got them at an A-.
Okay. Oh, one thing about the Broncos as well. They had a lower win total than the Raiders before the season. 5.5 was their win total, and they got 10. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Vegas doing the Raiders work right there.
Yeah, not good on the road, which makes sense with a very young team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Denver. You definitely have the home field advantage. But yeah, Chargers. I've got them for a B+.
A-.
Okay. Yeah, which I think both scores are fair. The win total was 8.5, which I was kind of surprised by, considering first season for Jim Harbaugh. And I mean, for first seasons, obviously he's coached in the NFL before as a head coach, but like first season with a team, you get Herbert right back to where he should have been for the last couple of years.
Yep.
You hit just back-to-back home runs, first round, second round in the draft with Joe Alt and then Ladd McConkey. You unlocked something in Quentin Johnston that I just was not necessarily expecting. 711 yards, 8 touchdowns, had a couple of just huge games this season.
Yep.
You got J.K. Dobbins to kind of stay healthy for the most part and have a great season. And maybe most impressively, you got this defense back on track.
Yes.
This defense was elite for multiple years, and they found something this year that was unreal. I mean, second best team in the league in points allowed per game. And by far the best team in points allowed per game on the road. They had they gave up 2.4 points less on the road than the Lions, who are second, and third is the Eagles, 4 points. A 4-point swing between what the Chargers were giving up on the road and what the Eagles give up on the road is unbelievable. To see a team, first year head coach, a lot of young players on this team, to see how good they were on the road in general is just unbelievable.
Oh, for sure. And on top of all that, like just the improvements that we saw with Herbert not throwing really like any interceptions this year, and he lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who were staples of the Chargers for so long. And I mean, like, look at what is Bud Dupree doing getting 6 sacks in 2025? Derwin James, 5.5 sacks. Like this whole team just stepped up, and I don't know. It's really like, it just gives me a good feeling when a team almost kind of dumbs down their superstar talent and they get better.
Yeah.
So
and,
that's exactly what the Chargers did.
The main reason I'm at a B+ instead of an A- is that playoff game. That playoff game was bad.
That was pretty bad.
So bad.
Yeah.
Which is concerning. I mean, you're allowed to be concerned about that kind of performance.
Oh, for sure.
When you're looking for, and especially just the Chargers players in general have been bad in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we'll see what changes there. But I mean, I think the Chargers are pretty happy about how last season went.
First in points against for defense.
Yeah.
For the Chargers. That's insane.
Yeah. Okay. Chiefs, the number one team in this division. I also gave them a B+.
Yeah, B+ for
They're
me as
so
well.
hard to grade because the expectation is Super Bowl. I mean, like, that's the expectation. And you got there, but you didn't win. And I mean, I'm, like I said, I'm giving myself bonus points for saying that nobody else was going to beat them. But I mean, 15-2. 2 losses on the road, one of them in a game that didn't matter at the end of the season. That's crazy. That's actually unbelievable. But this offense, the worst we've seen it with Patrick Mahomes leading.
Mm-hmm.
They had no prolific receiver play, no Rashee Rice this season for most of the season.
Yep.
Kelsey had a down year.
I want to back you up here really quickly. 14th in passing yards, 22nd in rushing yards.
Yeah, that's just not right. And like I was going to say, no standout running back. You didn't get an MVP season from Mahomes.
No.
And it all still works. You still won 15 games.
Still able to win. And that's just kind of a testament to, I feel like, Andy Reid.
And
his
Steve
preparation.
Spagnuolo.
And
the defense, unbelievable.
Patrick Mahomes just, he's
winning
not going to lose often.
Yeah, no. Winning those late wins were the big thing. And there were some controversial late wins. I mean, you have Isaiah Likely on the opening night of the season.
Yeah.
You have... all these different things that pile
PI
up.
in the Falcons game.
The pass interference in the Falcons game. You have the pass interference call on the Bengals. You have you have the blocked field goal against the Broncos. I mean, so many last-second things that changed for the Chiefs to help them get these wins. But the defense was unbelievable, and that's what kept them in these games. I mean, you didn't score more than 30 points until the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Unreal to get that far into a season, only losing 2 games that literally didn't matter by only scoring less than 30 points a majority of the time.
Exactly. And just to kind of go after some of their offensive weapons, Mahomes was under 4,000 passing yards. Your leading rusher was Kareem Hunt with 728 yards, who you picked up in week 4.
Yeah.
Your leading pass receiver was Travis Kelce with 823 yards. On top of that, what did D-Hop do for the Chiefs in 2024?
That trade was so useless.
Yeah, but defensively, nothing can be said wrong about or bad about the Chiefs defensively.
No, the defense was great. I mean, we thought they would miss a step with L'Jarius Sneed being gone. No.
Yeah, Trent McDuffie just kind of picked it up.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So,
yeah, Karlaftis was awesome. I love George Karlaftis.
That whole D-line was just unfair all year long.
Yeah, I really like this defense a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Big props to Spagnuolo, other than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was bad.
Very bad.
Okay, that's our AFC West season grade. What closing statements here? Anything for this division? I think it's going to be a good division for years to come. I mean, you already see the changes happening in Las Vegas with Brady kind of making decisions. You hire Pete Carroll. Looks like they're probably going to go free agency when it comes to a quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, you might get Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. A lot of things could happen for Vegas, and you got a relatively high draft pick too. And then obviously the Broncos Chargers are certainly trending in the right direction.
Yep.
But the Chiefs are maybe in the weirdest circumstances of any of these teams. It doesn't seem like it's hard to say they can't take a step forward from where they're at, but it doesn't seem like they're gonna.
Yeah, for sure. I think it can be kind of just chalked up as simple as Mahomes needs superstar talent outside of Kelce. He needs a running back and a wide receiver, and then you're probably fine. Now, what'll be interesting is them losing Joe Thuney. I wonder what that's going to look like for the Chiefs moving forward. But to recap on the season, for the AFC West last season, the Chargers and Chiefs games were so much fun.
Oh, they're great.
To watch.
And the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos and Chiefs, the first one because it actually mattered.
Yeah. Even the Raiders had a game against the Chiefs that got weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A lot of weird stuff can happen in that.
Fun division.
Yes,
Fun division.
Definitely. Okay. I'm going to just kind of cook through this NFL news stuff. We can stop if we need to on anything. But me and Colin are going to hit the important stuff as more stuff develops, and we can kind of spend more time going into this stuff on Monday's episode. Okay. Players that have been released. Devontae Adams, released by the Jets. That saves them $29.9 million in cap space. That's a big one. Darius Slay and James Bradbury, gone. They picked up 2 corners in the draft last year, and they both earned their spots and kicked out the old guys.
I get it for that reason, but Darius Slay, I wouldn't be comfortable parting ways with him.
I'm 100% comfortable. I think it saved them a bunch of money as well.
True.
I think it was somewhere around $20 million in cap space.
The Eagles probably need it too. They love paying their guys.
Yeah, I mean they already paid Saquon. We're going to talk about that, but the Eagles. I think that's the right move. Getting rid of both of them. It was clear that Slay is lost a step, and James Bradbury is atrocious. Joey Bosa dropped by the Chargers. I wouldn't say necessarily surprising because we know that the Chargers have been in a weird cap position for a couple years, but $25 million they save in the cap. He'll certainly find somewhere to play. He's good enough to play anywhere.
Yeah.
He's just not going to get the same money that he had from that first extension that he got in Los Angeles.
Definitely.
Javon Hargrave cut. Biggest flop move the 49ers have made. I mean, they just can't get it right on signing guys.
He was really exciting when he went there.
Oh, yeah.
But
he was unbelievable.
Didn't work out.
Yeah. Jamal Williams, I think that one's just a fun one to talk about because he's just been in prison in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean, doing literally nothing.
What, coming off of like a 21 rushing touchdown season with the Lions, Saints sign him and do literally nothing with him.
Yeah, crazy. Tyler Lockett, released by the Seahawks.
I could see that too.
I could see him potentially retiring.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been a guy who's, tried to take care of his body.
Yeah.
He's always ducked
sure.
tackles and everything, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's just like, all right, I'll hang it up now.
He's a legend, though.
Definitely. One of the most underrated wide receivers
of our lifetime.
Mina Kimes made a good point. I know she covered a lot of Seattle stuff. Made a good point. Seahawks arguably have two of the most underrated wide receivers ever in Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then Christian Kirk got released by the Jags. I'm sure there's other ones that are like smaller or whatever, but Christian Kirk saves the Jags a decent money with the cap as well. Got a lot of restructurings as well. Two biggest ones, the Cowboys restructure CD and Dax deals on back-to-back days, and it frees them up $56.6 million in cap space. That is unbelievable. That also means Micah Parsons, you're probably going to get paid.
Yeah.
I know they just extended one of their offensive linemen. He has a really tough name to pronounce, but I know his first name's Osa.
Yeah.
They extended him, big deal. I think 4 years, like $86 million.
I would probably look into maybe putting that 56 either towards Micah or like a new brain for Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Do a little brain
I don't know if that would affect the salary cap. But
no, you could expense it though.
Yeah, that's true. But is Jerry Jones willing to fork up the money for his own brain to change? Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, so instead of releasing Christian Kirk, they're trading him to the Texans for a 2026 7th-round pick.
Wow, that's really nothing.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk.
I mean, I would assume Houston's going to take on his salary. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, this definitely takes out wide receiver in the first round from the Texans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, who knows?
What? Yeah, I know Tank Dell's going to get surgery, but Stephon Diggs will be back about early in the year.
I mean,
well, no, Stephon's a free agent, but Nico Collins is there.
To be fair for Houston, they really can't keep that position healthy. So, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, why not add depth?
So,
but you definitely, with that move, I would say they're out of wide receivers in the first round.
Yeah.
That probably won't happen.
Definitely.
The other big restructuring, Deshaun Watson. Browns restructured his deal to create $36 million in cap space. So now they've actually paid most of the guaranteed money in his deal. So this season, they're going to pay him the league minimum salary, but then next season, they're going to pay him $46 million.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, and they might draft a quarterback with the second pick.
Oh,
I mean, that's crazy. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely helps them out a lot. Maybe that money goes to Myles Garrett to try and appease him, but I think he's gone. I still think he's gone.
Yeah.
Trades that have happened. Sorry, what is this? Giants re-signing Tommy DeVito. Is that real? I mean, this could be an ML football or like a NFL Sentinel. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Mike Garofalo. I trust Mike Garofalo.
Shout out QB1.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito sucks a dick. He'll be the third string next season. Okay. Trades. We talked about this Bears trade, at least when we were talking about the Chiefs. The Bears traded only a 2026 4th-round pick to the Chiefs for Joe Thuney, by the way. It's Thuney, not Thuney. But it's a fantastic move. And, I mean, a lot of people, mock draft-wise, had the Bears taking an offensive lineman. So they get Joe Thuney, who's going to be at tackle. They also traded a 2025 6th-round pick to the Rams for their center, Jonah Jackson.
This is what the Bears have needed for so many years, is this kind of like aggressive team building, which really works for the NFL in 2025. Yes. And guess who was the most sacked quarterback in the league last year?
Caleb Williams.
There you go. Yeah. So shout out Chicago. I respect that.
Good moves by Ryan Poles. DK Metcalf requested a trade after all of this Tyler Lockett getting cut. Geno's not agreeing to an extension. I mean, a lot of things going wrong. And then you got Diamador Lenore, is that his name, the 49ers corner?
Yes.
You got him on like an Instagram live saying that Jackson Smith and Jigba just cries.
Okay.
So that also, doesn't help. I mean, that clip is, everybody hold on to that Diamador Lenore clip. Yeah, there you go. There's JSN's reaction. Hey, yo, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, it's so funny, but also like, I need to know when Seattle's going to play the 49ers next year because
Yeah.
I got to have that clip ready to go.
Yeah.
If JSN just absolutely kills the Amador Lenore.
It's going to be one to watch.
But yeah, DK requested a trade. I think this is more of a cry for help kind of thing, but also like pay me.
Yeah.
Pay me more, and I'll stay. Or figure out the situation and I'll stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think DK, there's obviously a lot of interesting landing spots because there's a lot of teams that could use a wide receiver. And in my opinion, I think a fantastic destination would be San Francisco, but I don't know if that'll happen. That's just a team that hit my mind that I think makes a lot of sense for DK Metcalf.
Okay.
But he might cost a little bit too much since you got to pay Brock Purdy this offseason.
As a Steelers fan, anytime I hear about a wide receiver requesting a trade or getting released, I start like foaming at the mouth. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Devontae Adams, you foaming at the mouth for Devontae Adams?
I don't know about him anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're bad, he'll just be like, "See ya."
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll give you another free agent wide receiver.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
DeAndre Hopkins.
No.
Would it be a bad thing if the Steelers signed DeAndre Hopkins?
No.
They're not going to pay him that much, but do you think it's bad for the team or good?
Well, I think it would be it wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Okay. But I guess to keep it going, outside of Antonio Brown from that era, he's probably my second favorite wide receiver. I love him.
Last thing, trade wise, Trey Hendrickson giving permission to seek a trade. So he will probably find one. I mean, you franchise tag T. Higgins, so you make it pretty clear that fuck everybody. It's kind of the motto this season for the Bengals, franchise tagging T. Higgins for the second year in a row. I mean, he's still going to make 26.2, I think, this year. So he's not going to, it's not like he's not getting paid. But I mean, he could go somewhere and be a wide receiver one and really get the bag.
Are you rowing the boat with me in the sense that like franchise tagging T. Higgins and then watching Sam Hubbard go and then Trey Hendrickson given permission to seek a trade, it just seems like they're going backwards. Like I would have rather lost T. Higgins and then signed someone big on defense.
Most definitely. I mean, you have to assume that their entire offseason now, with the way they've lined themselves up, Jamar's already extended, Joe Burrow's extended, and Chase Brown is still on a rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
You franchise tag T. Higgins so you can save some money. But what that might just do is make him pissed off and not play well, or a lot of people are going to be calling about a trade for him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a trade that you would have gotten less value than if you traded him at the deadline last year.
And you're going to deal with the same thing you dealt with all last season. Are you going to re-sign him or not?
Yeah, and then also you're going to deal with the problem, which is your whole defense sucks, except Cam Taylor-Britt.
Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're moving in the wrong direction. I mean you have to have a great free agency and you have to draft so well.
Yeah.
I mean you have to draft so well because we're actually about to get to retirement, so we'll go ahead and talk about it. 29-year-old Sam Hubbard retiring from football.
Yeah.
Kind of out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been a good player. I mean he's not been the best player on that defensive line because Trey Hendrickson's there, but I mean Sam Hubbard's been around for a little while and like was a very good player for that team for multiple years.
Definitely. Like a top 3, top 4 player on that defense probably?
Definitely. Yeah, in his tenure for sure.
Yeah.
But the other one, legendary player, I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, Jason Peters.
Oh, for sure.
Retired. I mean, got to be one of the best, if not the best undrafted player of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be a conversation that Jason Peters finds himself in.
The longevity's there, too.
20 years in the league. He won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 4-time second-team All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler.
Oh, I just read that second bullet point there.
He started his career on the same team as Drew Bledsoe.
What?
Yes, he was an undrafted free agent with the Bills. He didn't start until after Drew Bledsoe was gone. But his first season, Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback of the Bills.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Wow.
So shout out Jason Peters. He'll be moving into a front office role with the Seahawks.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, so that's
very good.
Nathan, what do you got?
Do you guys like to hear some other undrafted NFL players?
Sure.
Yeah, I would like to make this comparison.
Priest Holmes, Adam Vinatieri.
Oh, that's tough. He's a kicker, so undrafted's a little different.
I would give it to
James Harrison.
Yeah,
oh, fuck.
for sure.
Yeah, James Harrison might have Jason Peters. But I mean, Jason Peters was playing tight end at 320
Antonio Gates.
Okay. Yeah, but Gates never won a Super Bowl.
Tony Romo,
Romo's ass.
John Randall.
John
Vikings
Randall,
defensive tackle.
he's got a case.
Yeah.
I think Peters is up there.
Fuckers up here.
I mean, I think Jason Peters is up there.
Tony Romo was not ass, by the way.
He didn't win a Super Bowl.
That is true.
Warren Moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, Warren Moon might have it too.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of
Kurt
those.
Warner.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. He's a Hall of
Super Bowl
Famer, so, I
champion.
mean, you can't take that away from him. And Super Bowl champion.
4-time Pro Bowl.
I think he went
12
to,
seasons.
Did he go to 3 Super Bowls? 1-1?
I think just 2. Beat the Titans by a yard.
Lost
Lost
to
to
the
the Steelers. Wait, lost to the Packers.
Right? He was on the. Oh wait, hold on. What was that? A AFC or NFC Championship game? Yeah, it was an NFC Championship game. Never mind.
Anyway, but Yeah.
2 MVPs as well for Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, 2-time MVP.
Wow. Shout out Kurt Warner.
In 12 seasons.
Wow.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, that's
I like
insane. Re-signings and franchise tags. Just a couple of big ones. T. Higgins obviously got franchise tag. We already talked about it. Saquon, 2 years, $41.2 million. Highest paid running back all time in the league.
Deserved.
Yeah, deserved for sure. You rush for 2,000.
You jumped over
win a
someone
Super Bowl.
backwards.
You jump over somebody backwards. You get a 2-year, $41.2 million extension.
Yeah.
Should they have given him more years? I think this adds on to what I believe is already 2 years that he's still under contract, because I think he got a 3-year deal in the
Yeah.
offseason last year. Might have been a 2-year deal. But, he's not old. I mean,
Not old, but I don't think you can forget about the injury history
that's fair. Yeah,
as well.
that's a good point.
But it's kind of weird because he rushed for 2,000 yards and had a fully healthy season, so it's almost like kind of easy to forget about him being hurt
Yes.
at
yes.
this point. So
But I think that's still going to be a problem for him for years to come.
yeah,
Is just the injuries. Max Crosby, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history at the moment, because there's some guys that are at his position that need a deal.
we're pending here.
Yeah, but Max Crosby, as of right now, 3 years, $106.5 million extension, 91.5 guaranteed.
Goodness gracious, he
Which-
signed his name and had $91.5
Yeah.
million.
Yeah, put into an account that day to be paid out to him over these couple of years. Unbelievable. I don't even know what the signing bonus was. I mean, fuck. Yeah, he's now the highest paid, what? Okay. Highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history is crazy.
Yeah,
Absolutely crazy. But it's a position with a stat that people love, and that is what does it.
yeah,
I mean, sacks is such an important statistic now, probably more than ever. If you're sacking the quarterback right now, I mean, that's huge.
Oh, it's a
If you
huge
got a
deal.
guy who's going to put up at least double digits, if he plays all 17, if you got a guy who's putting up double digits every single year, he deserves to be paid.
Yes,
Like, for real. And Max Crosby's going to get that, and Micah Parsons is about to get that. Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett,
TJ Watt eventually.
All these guys are going to get that. TJ Watt's going to get it from, the Patriots probably.
yeah.
But
I wonder what-
they're going to get it.
Like when it comes around for Aiden Hutchinson, what's that?
Oh,
what is that?
He's
gonna
another
look
one.
like?
He's another one where I believe he can get an extension starting at the end of this season, this coming season.
Yeah,
Aiden Hutchinson, with as young as he is too,
exactly.
nobody's
wait.
ready. Nobody's ready for the money he's about to get.
Yeah,
Last one, Zach Bond. I mean, you go from a special teamer on the Saints, 3 years, 51 mil, 34 mil guaranteed.
overpaid maybe.
Potentially. He's already one of the highest paid linebackers in the league at this kind of money. I wouldn't say overpaid because you saw what he did last year, but it could have been a one-season wonder. I mean, you don't know. But I think Howie Roseman has learned from his mistakes. I mean, you go out and bring back the guys that are important to your team.
Mm.
They've messed up on, especially at linebacker, they've messed up on some guys that they just let go. And then things just didn't work out. But, I mean, when you've got Bond and Nakobe Dean, that pairing for the next couple of years is going to be awesome.
Oh, for sure.
And it already was.
Yeah. One of the retirements is, did Brandon Graham not retire?
He did. I think we talked about it a couple weeks
Okay,
ago.
fair.
When it
Gotcha.
happened. These were ones that happened this week is why I put him in there.
Okay.
I think I'm done with NFL news. And I'm sure other things have happened. I mean, I've got the reports here.
Yeah, I'll scroll on my phone for a little bit.
The only thing I'm seeing from Shefty is that trade. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything I haven't already seen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're good to move on to our AL West preview.
Yep, and I just saw who you have winning the division.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Yeah, I know. It's interesting. We'll get to it, but let's start bottom. We're going to go bottom to top. That's what me and Colin did on Monday, so we're setting the precedent there.
Cool.
Start with the Angels, for me, at least.
What?
Oh, yeah. Angels are going to be last, for sure. And I've got so many reasons to like the Angels. I mean, Mike Trout. Kenley Jansen, Jorge Soler, Zach Neto, one of my favorite young players in the league. I actually reposted a TikTok the other day.
Oh, I forgot about that demon.
Ben Joyce is an animal. I reposted a TikTok comparing Anthony Volpe and Zach Neto's stats. Go take a look for yourselves, guys. Also, Darno's on that team. The coaching staff as well. Ron Washington, Eric Young. I love these guys. But I love them so much that I want all of them out. I want all of them to escape Anaheim if they can. I've just leave it. Leave Anaheim for Joe Adell, Mickey Moniak, and Taylor Ward to take over. I mean, God, just get out as soon as possible before Anthony Rendon takes all of your money. It's unbelievable. This franchise is so doomed. I mean, that's it. I mean, Mike Trout is going to have a bounce back year and get traded at the deadline
and play 50 games.
That's my bold prediction this season for the Angels, is that Mike Trout gets hot and he stays healthy, because you moved him to corner outfield and he stays so healthy that you're going to have to trade him.
Yeah. I think, like, poor Ron Washington. Like, no disrespect to him, but he's just got to be too old to deal with a team like this.
That's fair. Yeah, he's dealing with some bullshit.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, his whole coaching staff is just guys I love.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
How about Kikuchi, though? Getting him was massive.
Yeah. Yeah, Kikuchi is a good signing.
Seriously.
I just, it's the rest of the rotation, too. That I'm just not, Tyler Anderson's not the guy. Kyle Hendricks shouldn't be pitching. Reed Detmers has gone off of a cliff the last 2 years.
Tyler Anderson has had seasons where he's finished like sub-3 ERA, though.
I think he's had one. Yeah, in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
With the Dodgers. I mean, still Los Angeles, but.
True.
Yeah, there's just not much to be excited about for the Angels right now. I mean, you just, especially with Shohei left, just really made it worse. And Mike Trout, it feels like Mike Trout hasn't played baseball in years. Is the point we're at right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've got the Angels in last. I would assume you do too? Or
no? Athletics.
Okay, interesting.
I really wanted to find any reason that the Athletics could not come in last in this division, but I just don't have it.
I think there's a lot of reasons, and I'll lay them out.
Okay, yeah. Adding Severino was great. I'm thoroughly excited for how he's going to do. Just kind of being the main guy for the first time in his career, I feel like. But outside of him, not much to be excited about, in my opinion. Offensively, Brent Rooker is going to be an all-star, and I think Lawrence Butler could be too.
I've got my things to say about Lawrence Butler. Well, hold on.
Yeah. But
I'm high as fuck
outside of them two, I don't really feel like there's any star power, but you have a lot of guys that are like 26 and younger.
Exactly.
So I am excited for them. I'm just not expecting a lot this coming season.
Before I get into my thing about the Athletics, I have them fourth. You didn't say Mason Miller, I don't think.
Oh, I forgot him. Yeah, he's.
He's the guy.
Whew.
And I don't hate their whole bullpen. I think there's a lot of guys in that bullpen that can fill up some innings. I think the biggest thing that's going to help this team is that they're not in Oakland anymore, and they don't have that whole debacle with the city of Oakland just plaguing everything that they do.
Good take.
They don't have a good team. I'll say it. But they have a lot of players worth watching. I mean, it took this whole offseason for people to realize that Lawrence Butler is electric.
Oh, he's amazing.
I mean, Lawrence Butler, Nathan, can you pull up his stats from last season? Nobody was talking about this guy. Played like 120-something games and had an OPS of 807. Unbelievable. 125 games, 22 homers, and an OPS of 807.
I love me some Lawrence Butler, dude.
That's like the kind of season where like you look at that and you're like, oh shit, like when he plays 162 or if he plays 150, there's going to be some real fucking numbers right there.
For sure.
And I'm so glad people are starting to realize it. I mean, I'm I've been kind of paying attention to this guy ever since he got drafted in 2018, just because he's from Atlanta. He went to Westlake High School.
Didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Fantastic player.
New
And
Jersey.
yeah, so I've been definitely paying attention to him. What? Well, he was born in New Jersey, but I mean, he grew up in Atlanta. And then also Brent Rooker got himself paid, and for a good reason. Mason Miller, super fun. Severino, great signing. I think there's just enough guys around this team. Shea Langelier's up and coming catcher. Gio Urshela is not a bad signing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not
excited about Andujar though.
Yeah, no, that one's meh. The outfield's really okay. The outfield's not that bad because this depth chart sucks. Because Lawrence Butler will be starting in the outfield. And Seth Brown is good defensively. JJ Bleday, I'll reserve comments. that's my take on him. But yeah, no, I think this A's team is just good enough to win some games. I mean, they did it last year. They were better than the Angels last year.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my take on it. I would assume you have the Angels at 4.
Yeah. So pitching wise, I think bringing in Kikuchi is going to be really exciting. I could see him having a super good year for the Angels this year. What?
Right? Oh no, we already talked about the Angels.
Yeah,
that's why
it's my turn to talk about.
Well,
the
no,
Angels.
I thought you were reading your notes again.
No,
but yeah, no, sorry.
Kinley Jansen, obviously, you know what you're going to get from him. He's amazing, and I don't think Kyle Hendricks is that bad.
He's awful.
We'll see.
I mean, he throws like 84,
but he's an upgrade to this team. I think.
I don't know. I mean, the Cubs rotation wasn't very good last year, and they moved him to the bullpen, and then he wasn't even getting bullpen appearances.
Yeah. As I said earlier, Tyler Anderson has had good years before. Your Polish guy and Soriano, they're both young. I mean, they're probably not going to be
him
good.
A Polish guy instead of like even attempting his name. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Kochanowicz?
Yeah, it sounds Polish to me.
Yeah. And I'm Polish too, so that kind of demeans me a little bit. But yeah.
Seems like the right pronunciation.
And then offensively, you added Soler and Moncada, but like
Moncada is not even an addition. He might be a subtraction.
I'm not high on Soler and Moncada at all.
Soler will be gone by the deadline.
Nolan Shanuel can only get better. And then moving Mike Trout to right field allows him to play more than 60 games, or he's just going to end up getting traded. So I don't know. Those are kind of my reasons that I think they'll be better than the Athletics.
I mean, what a miss by me being so high on Nolan Shanuel.
Jesus, 6'7". He's not Polish.
6'7".
We don't got guys that big.
Okay. My third place team. What is this? Polish? Yeah. Son of Jacob.
Jakob.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. My Rangers. My third place team is the Rangers.
It's such a bad take, Grace.
Sure, whatever. It seems like they just refuse to make moves that will bring them back to where they were in 2023. That's my biggest thing. I have high hopes for the rotation, but I should probably stop having high hopes for Rangers because last year I tried and all of them failed. You guys remember Wyatt Langford?
Hell yeah.
Go look at the depth chart. See where he's at.
Let's see.
Oh. You're not
gonna find him
he's
here.
There. He's there. He's just third string, I think. Second string left field. Okay. Yep. Fourth designated hitter, second in left field. He was the favorite to win Rookie of the Year last year to start the season.
He'll be back.
All right. Sure. Evan Carter, I'm also waiting on you to look like you did in the playoffs when you guys won the World Series. But yes, Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, very excited for those guys.
Didn't realize Kumar was 6'5", 245. Jesus
he's
Christ.
Giant. Kumar Rocker is huge.
That's the Falcons tight end right there.
Oh yeah, Kumar Rocker's massive. I'm reserving my DeGrom comments for later.
Okay.
I will say this, I'm not high on Eovaldi.
I am.
Is it because he re-signed with the Rangers instead of coming to the Braves? Could be. I'll say it. I'll admit it. Hand up. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But also, I'm just not high on him because he wasn't that good last year.
Okay.
I am high on Luke Jackson, always. Shout out Slider Man.
Slider Man.
Jesse Chavez will be a Brave by like the second week of the season, so I'm not worried about that one. Fuck Chris Martin. We went over that on Sunday. Fuck Chris Martin and his 6'8" lanky ass. All right. Your third place team.
Third place team. the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. That's
Facts.
all I got to
That's
say about
facts.
the Seattle Mariners.
Justin Turner was right.
Justin Turner was right, and it was so rewarding to see that I wrote my notes and I said exactly what Justin Turner said.
Yep.
This starting rotation is a unicorn, to quote Justin Turner. Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, and Emerson Hancock are dogs.
Would be starting in almost everybody else's starting rotation.
Yeah. And then offensively, who knows? Could J-Rod finally be AL MVP? Probably not. But outside of that, they still did not make any significant offensive changes. But I can see them trading this season, especially since Justin Turner came out and called them out. I feel like it's now you just have to this season.
Yeah.
Like this is the
What do you
season.
mean? They got Miles Mastroboni. Shout out Brandon Gaudin.
That's one of my favorite
It's so good.
favorite clips.
And Donovan Solano.
And then I guess outside of J-Rod, like their starting lineup offensively is okay.
Randy Arozarena exists.
Randy Arozarena does exist, but yeah, the Mariners are third.
Yeah, I've got the Mariners second, only because of the rotation. I mean, that rotation is unbelievable. Nobody else is going to play center field. I like that on that depth chart. But yeah, stop wasting this unbelievably talented pitching staff with this garbage lineup that you refuse to improve year by year. I mean, Bryce Miller and Brian Wu have come up and anchored this rotation in the last 2 years, and you're still wasting them. I mean, George Kirby was like a Rookie of the Year finalist, I'm pretty sure. Luis Castillo, at least in his rookie year, and he's been so good all the way through. Logan Gilbert, after a bad rookie season, has been one of the best pitchers in the MLB. And Luis Castillo has the best strikeout stuff that you might find in the American League. I'll say that.
George Kirby doesn't walk anybody.
Yeah, George Kirby, I mean, literally does not allow base runners. Go look at his whip if you want.
Yeah.
But this lineup is awful. So bad. And if Julio Rodriguez doesn't have a bounce back season, they're going to be horrible.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of thinking he might. I'm thinking he'll at least look a little better. That's where I'm heading with this.
Yeah, and before I give you my second place, is there any room for the Athletics to come like in third?
Yes.
I think so too.
Okay.
Like
That's interesting you put them fifth.
But well, that's when I texted you, like, this division, like, I was drooling trying to write these notes because I couldn't think of how I wanted my standings to be.
The standings were a mess. I mean, shit. You guys already know who my first place team is.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this team. Second place is going to be the Houston Astros. You're not doing it this year. You're not.
Don't try this.
You're not doing it this year. Oh, I'm trying to,
Doesn't
Grayson.
end well.
Listen, outside of Blanco and Valdez, you're kind of screwed. I mean, I like Arrighetti, but
Hunter Brown.
I don't know. Losing Verlander and Kikuchi, terrible. As far as your bullpen, you have Hader, but you don't have Presley anymore.
Yeah, I'm not worried about losing Presley. I'll be honest.
I would be. He's one of the best.
He was,
but
I think the bullpen will be just as good.
Okay. Offensively, moving on. Christian Walker was really nice. Still have Altuve and Alvarez. They're going to be dogs. I don't see Altuve like age catching up with him anytime soon.
No, moved him to left field too.
Yeah, but Kyle Tucker and Bregman are hits.
yeah, he is the size of a 15-year-old.
By the way, I know you know this, but Isaac Paredes is not Alex Bregman, Houston. So don't expect anything out of him.
Offensively, very good, which I will be noting.
But your lineup will still be strong, but I think it's probably the worst it's been in the past 10 years. So you're going to finish second.
Past 10? I don't know.
2015, they were good.
Yeah, but the back half of the lineup, pretty bad.
I mean, we'd have to look. That's kind of just a guesstimate.
But, okay, so I have the Astros first, and it's mainly because I can't allow myself to doubt them. I don't care if they hit kind of a soft reset here. Getting rid of Kyle Tucker and Bregman and Verlander, it's not much of a reset. I mean, his time was done. They got what they needed out of him, which was 2 World Series, and I believe 2 Cy Youngs.
Yeah, could have been better.
Yeah, sure. But look, if I doubt them, they're going to prove me wrong. I know that. So if they're going to prove me wrong, I'm going to put them first, so they prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Just my thing with the Astros is don't let the departures blind you from the acquisitions. That's my biggest thing with what happened this offseason. Do not let, sure, Kyle Tucker is an MVP caliber player, and Alex Bregman has been before, hasn't necessarily been recently, but one of the best gloves at third base. But do not be blinded and just forget about the guys that they brought in, because Josh Hader, Christian Walker, and Isaac Paredes are huge. Absolutely huge guys to bring in to fill those roles and whatnot. Hader, 5-time All-Star, consistently one of the best closers for multiple years now. Christian Walker, unfortunate to be an NL first baseman in a time where Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt, Matt Olson, Bryce Harper, Pete Alonso, and so forth have been around in the National League, but he's been the best defensive, best defensive first baseman in the league for multiple years. He's gotten 3 straight Gold Gloves at the position in the National League. Like I said, is stacked, and he's one of the best balanced hitters at the position. I mean, you're not going to find a lot of guys that hit for an OPS like he does with the power numbers without striking out like he does. And then Isaac Paredes is one. It was once a top prospect in a stacked Tigers system. Gets traded to the Rays, comes up and is pretty much immediately made an appearance. Made an impact. Back-to-back career seasons. Last year he was an All-Star. The season before that he got MVP votes. Isaac Paredes is in the right, he's moving in the right direction and has been for 2 years now. If he keeps getting better, which he's a young player, he probably will, this team is still going to be so good. So good. Because the rotation's really hasn't missed a step from last season. I mean, Verlander barely pitched.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried that the Astros really take that big of a step back. And Yordan Alvarez, by the way, is amazing.
I was waiting
I didn't
on
bring
him
him up. And Jose Altuve is still going to be great.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does defensively in left field. I don't know about that. Yeah, that's insane. Kumar Rocker's bigger than Yordan Alvarez.
Wow.
Okay.
Close.
Same height, though? Yeah. Makes sense.
I'm kind of happy that we're disagreeing with this AL West because it kind of goes to show that that's kind of how this division is. I would go as far as to say that I have the Rangers at first place. By the way, I would go as far as to say this is a World Series contending team. Sure. Keeping Eovaldi and DeGrom, who's set to pitch later this month, is huge. Signing Chris Martin, also huge, and they have a plethora of bullpen dudes. You also have rookies Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, former Vandy teammates, by the way. I wanted to throw that out there. Will be hungry for a shot in this pitching rotation. With the Astros losing Kyle Tucker and Bregman, I think the Rangers will have a better offense than Houston. Yes, Marcus Semien and Aroldis Garcia kind of took a step back. They're good enough to where I'm banking on that won't happen for a second season in a row, so I think they're going to be better. Wyatt Langford is a year older. So we'll see what he does.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He's a year older than he was last year.
Josh Jung is back and healthy. Jock Peterson signing, I think, is helpful. I like Higashioka going to back up Heim. I think that's a really solid backup catcher. So their lineup could be Semien, Seager, Langford, Garcia, Peterson, Jung, Berger, Heim, Carter. That is a really solid
Very good
lineup.
If it stays healthy, which it hasn't.
Their first place.
Also, Nathan, can you find me a picture of how big Adolis Garcia's head is getting?
Oh God,
his
last year it was already big.
The guy's got he looks like Megamind. It's unbelievable. I mean, if we've got a recent photo of Adolis Garcia that we can find, I think I saw one. It's going to be a task for New Era to get something that fits his head.
I also have a point on the Kumar Rocker, Jack Leiter teammates and fighting for spots.
Mm-hmm.
They will also both throw over 100.
Yeah.
And could in college together. So you play.
Yeah.
It's just.
You literally saw 101 one day and 101 the next from a totally different person with a different pitch mix.
That is just unfortunate.
Yes.
To play against.
Too bad Colin's not here. Colin did play against Kumar Rocker, and I know he'd love to bring it up.
Oh. My God.
That doesn't look real. That can't happen, right? It's unbelievable.
There's just so much I can say that I can't say on the podcast right now. Wow.
It looks Photoshopped.
I need everybody to go look up a picture of Aroldis Garcia. This is
Adolis.
Adolis, sorry.
You called him Aroldis earlier too.
Yeah.
I was gonna correct you. You're in
By the way,
your bag.
Senior year of high school, Kumar was throwing 98 at events.
Yeah.
Alien.
And he also had an exit velo of 97 off the bat in the same event.
Good hitter.
Wow.
Good player.
Wow.
Scary.
Okay. So we've got are we done with standings?
Yeah, can we do
Okay.
a run through of what we each had?
Yeah, so I had from top to bottom, I have Astros, Mariners, Rangers, A's, Angels.
Okay, and I had Rangers, Astros, Mariners, Angels, Athletics.
Okay. Dark horse to win the division. I got the Rangers. If they keep it all healthy, they'll probably win this division.
I have the Astros.
There we go.
Definitely taking a step back this year, but they're still the Astros, kind of like how you said. And that it was tough for me to not put them first just because they have had so much success.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they're my dark horse.
Yeah. Cy Young candidates are interesting. Give me the first 3 guys in the Mariners rotation first.
Same.
I think Kirby has the highest chance for me. I think he's going to have a big year this year. And then I go Luis Castillo and Logan Gilbert.
Yeah, same. And then outside of them, I have Sevy, Kikuchi, DeGrom, Valdez.
Sevy and Kikuchi's crazy.
I like it. New teams set up.
Not Kikuchi. Kikuchi's not winning a Cy Young at this point in his career.
Oh, we'll see it, man.
Framber Valdez
We'll see it.
and Jacob DeGrom are my only other 2. I don't think there's a single pitcher on the Athletics or the Angels that is winning a Cy Young.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know why I'm so high on Kikuchi, but we're gonna see.
I mean, he's a solid pitcher, but he's not what he once was. I'll say that. MVP candidates, I think, are also very interesting in this division because I think some guys have maybe aged past the point of like putting them here, and I also think that there's some guys you just can't count on. My favorite though is Jordan.
Yeah.
Because I think, obviously, last season, Shohei did unprecedented things, but he was just a DH, and he won it. And I think that's a big thing. It is we had to wait and see. And now, not just a DH, but, what, 50-50, right? It's been so long, but he got 50-50. I mean, that's just, it's unbelievable. Jordan's not going to get 50-50, but Jordan could just, like, randomly hit, like, 63 bombs.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're exactly
he's
right.
more than capable.
Even as a Yankees fan who, even
Jordan
not as a
was too
Yankees
young
fan,
to cheat. I'll give him that.
we all hate the Astros, but Jordan is a player that I just feel like deserves it.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, I can't associate him with the cheating aspect of
No.
Houston.
No.
So, I would be totally fine with him winning it.
Okay. Corey Seager, the other one. I
Yep.
think Simeon's out of the conversation in my eyes. I don't know. I don't think he's an MVP guy anymore.
Yeah. With you there.
I got Lawrence Butler here. This is my 3rd favorite.
That's kind of crazy.
He's
Mason.
unbelievable. I've already got a friend of mine who lives in a gambling state that I talked to. He said, "Who you got? What are some MLB futures?" Lawrence Butler plus 5,500.
Ooh.
Lawrence Butler plus 5,500.
Over
This is not
Rooker?
gambling advice. Lawrence Butler. Rooker's a DH. It's going to be harder for him. Butler plays the
But so is
outfield.
Jordan. But are you saying that Jordan
I'm
is just a different level of DH compared to Brent Rooker? Or?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be a DH, you got to hit 50 bombs at least.
Yeah.
And Rooker's just not hitting 50 bombs. But yeah, I think Lawrence Butler is an easy 40-40 candidate. I think he's going to play solid outfield and just going to bring some excitement to a team that nobody has been excited for, I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I got Trout, just in case. I mean, I just don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
And then I put Julio here. If he wants to have a bounce back, Julio Rodriguez is more than welcome to. And he'll be probably in the conversation if he does have a bounce back year. Then I put Christian Walker here, just in case. Another one, just in case. Because, I mean, 35 bombs and over 100 RBIs is like almost automatic for the guy.
Okay. I didn't order mine like you did as far as
me
like favorites. So I'm just going to run through my list. Trout, Altuve, Alvarez, Rooker, Seager, Garcia, J-Rod.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. Wait, Garcia.
Adolis.
Adolis Garcia. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I think he really took a step back last year, and I'm kind of hesitant on him. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Rookie of the Year candidates, I love this division for Rookie of the Year guys, by the way. And I got some in-depth notes on my 2 favorites that aren't even actually at the MLB level yet, but they might sneak in early in the year. First is Jacob Wilson for the Athletics. Last season, went from rookie ball to AA to AAA in 1 year. Crazy. Had over 1,000 OPS at all levels. Also insane. And a strikeout percentage of 7% in the minors across 3 different levels of minor leagues. He struck out 15 times in 226 plate appearances.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
I want to add something delicious to Jacob Wilson because I have him as well.
Yeah.
He's projected to be their opening day shortstop.
That's perfect because
So, yeah.
he's going to need a whole year with the kind of player he is. Because I think one thing that will hurt him is he does not have pop. I mean, he's not going to hit 30 bombs. Probably not even going to hit 15 if he played 162.
Wow.
He just does not have pop like that. He might, the guys grow as they get into the league and whatnot. But Jacob Wilson is an extremely exciting player to look forward to for the Athletics. Just yet another reason to watch the Athletics this year if you get the chance.
Yeah.
Go
My
ahead.
other Athletic is Nick Kurtz, first baseman.
Yeah. Is he still rookie eligible? Or is he? Sorry, I could be thinking of somebody else that
Believe he
hasn't come
is.
up. Yeah, he hasn't come up yet. Sorry, I was thinking of somebody else. Yeah, Nick Kurtz is very good. I just don't know if he'll be up in time.
Yeah.
My only thing. But I do like that.
I don't know. I feel like with a young team like the Athletics, you might have guys that are playing really bad. So
Definitely.
I feel like
Definitely.
a lot of roster moves can happen with them.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 favorites come from the 2 teams I think are going to be 4th and 5th. Christian Moore is my other pick.
Yeah.
The Angels love this guy. You've already got Ron Washington raving about him at spring training. He's going to play second base or he can play outfield, which I think is a huge asset for him to potentially get up this year. He's going to find his spot on this team. Maybe it won't be this season, but the potential is definitely there for him to get a shot. He's already had a great spring training. 8th pick last year. So he got drafted in July last year out of Tennessee. 3 seasons at Tennessee, star player, won that College World Series last year. Started in rookie ball, played I think 5 games, then got to Double-A. By the end of the year, he played 23 games in Double-A after getting drafted in July. That's crazy. And he hit 5 home runs and 14 RBIs in those 23 games in Double-A, straight out of college. I mean,
It's a dog.
He's just rocketing through the minor leagues. If he starts the season in AAA and starts off hot, you could see him in the majors by May.
Wow.
I mean, that's just the kind of player he's already been in his very short professional career.
It'd be exciting.
Yeah. My other 2 guys, Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, both have a shot. It's just which one's going to be the better one first to get into the rotation early.
I like it. I kind of went by team, so I gave a couple from every team.
Yeah.
So for the Angels, I also had Christian Moore.
Mhm.
I also like Caden Dana, sorry.
Yeah.
Number 63 prospect. He's a right-handed pitcher.
Yep. It's really hard for a pitcher that doesn't start on the roster to make it or to win it. I think that's the biggest thing to me.
For the Astros, I have Cam Smith. He's number 58 in top 100. He's a third baseman.
Yep.
I don't know. He just could be exciting, especially with the Astros, in my opinion, kind of taking a step back. I feel like some young guys can find their way.
Yeah,
in.
I mean, I'm all for a Seminole. So shout out Cam Smith.
Now the Mariners, they have 2 interesting guys. You have Cole Emerson, who's number 5. He's a shortstop. I like him a lot. And then Phil.
I'll give it a try. Felnin Celestin.
Yeah,
I
number
believe.
24. Also a shortstop.
Oh, that could be confusing. And J.P. Crawford is already there.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And then with the Rangers, Kumar Rocker, obviously, Jack Leiter, obviously, and then Sebastian Walcott, number 17, shortstop, third baseman.
Another really good one.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard for him to get into the squad
Yeah.
when Seager and Young are holding down those spots.
For sure.
Closing thoughts on this division. I think by all indications, this will either be the worst division in baseball next season, or it will just be a ridiculous race to the end like last year. I mean, nobody here's winning 100 games, in my opinion.
No.
So I think we're going to see some kind of race. But you could probably see 2 playoff teams out of this division. I mean, that's definitely not out of the cards. But like we could see, I think the problem is that the bottom, well, not the bottom half teams, the Athletics might steal some games off of a couple of the big dogs.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And I think that's really going to fuck with the division standings as the season goes on.
I like it. I think the Rangers are probably over 100 wins this year.
Okay.
I like them for that.
Yeah, what, Nathan, can we get their win totals? Nathan's pulling up the win totals right now. But yeah, I could see the Rangers maybe doing it, but I mean, when they won the World Series, they were what, the 6th seed?
Yeah, that is true. I actually did forget about that. But as far as like 3rd through 5th, I really think it's interchangeable.
Yeah.
I honestly could see, and this might be a crazy take, but like, what if the Mariners fuck around and just get last?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, they could.
genuinely.
I think the problem is the rotation is just too good to lose that many games. I mean, sure, like it's you have to still have an offense, but I mean, if your starting pitching is going to give up 2 or less runs every time,
Yeah.
it's almost hard to lose.
Yeah. And one thing I hate doing is I hate like banking on injuries, but like I think the Mariners coming in last formula could be one or two of those starting pitchers go down, and then you can't trade for offensive talent because you don't want to give away the pitchers you have left. Then you come in last.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So
the win totals right now across the divisions, the Astros have the highest win total, 86.5. Now, keep in mind, most teams, I say most teams because if you watched Monday's podcast, the Dodgers win total is 104.5. Most teams that are very good have a mid to high 80s win total. That's pretty normal. So the Astros at 86.5 makes sense. They took a bit of a step back roster-wise. Mariners, Rangers, both underachievers last year for what they should have done, and kind of banking on some guys coming back from injury. They're both at 85.5. Athletics, 71.5. Angels, 72.5. Angels under 72.5. Not gambling advice. I'll say that. If you could adjust that line to under 65.5, I'd probably take it. Under 17.5 is crazy, but no, under 72.5 is just like unbelievable odds. That's all I can say without us getting in like serious trouble. Okay, last things for the AL West before we move on?
It's just going to be interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think it will. I mean, most divisions in baseball are. Yeah. I think we can say that pretty clearly.
Just wait till we get to the AL East. All the moves that happen there. Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah, spoiler alert, not high on the Blue Jays. All right, let's move on to the Premier League.
You actually didn't tell me these games.
Yeah, I know. So it's going to be a surprise to you. But every single one of these games is somewhere from 2 to 10. Like we talked about, it's a tight race.
Yeah.
All of these matchups are somewhere in that area. And we'll start off with Nottingham Forest versus Man City. Big one. I mean, big one. And these are two teams on weird form. Manchester City's been on weird form all year. Nottingham Forest, not looking good right now. I mean, just everything's going wrong at the moment. There we go. They're 1-1 draw with Ipswich, 0-0 draw with Arsenal. You had the 2 losses, Newcastle, Fulham. I mean, things are just not going their way. They're barely hanging on to that 3rd place spot.
For sure, yeah.
And I mean, this was a defense that was dominant. And you allowed 2 goals to Fulham, 4 goals to Newcastle.
And I love a 0-0 draw versus Arsenal. Like, that's a really good result. But when you follow that up with a 1-1 draw against Ipswich, it's not great.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So,
and then Manchester City, they do move on in the FA Cup, beating Plymouth Argyle, but, that's not much of a task.
No.
They looked horrible in the Champions League. And then got thrashed by Liverpool in what was a pretty close game.
Yeah.
And then a 1-0 win over Tottenham. Manchester City obviously should be better, but I mean, I just don't know what to expect from them every week.
Not anymore.
It's so difficult to tell. And I mean, I'm glad that they've got some young guys that are showing up. I've really liked Omar Marmoush.
Oh, yeah.
He's been great to start off his career at Manchester City, but yeah, it's just like week to week. I just don't know what to expect.
I completely agree. It's interesting to see how Manchester City are trying to kind of have to figure out new lineups that work and what don't work, and I think that's kind of what's getting them inconsistent results. So
yeah, for sure. There you don't see, especially in past years when they've been winning the league and winning trebles and such. You didn't typically see a lot of variation in the squad, and obviously Rodri's injury is like the biggest part of that. But also like Kevin De Bruyne is not making the squad every week.
No,
and rightfully so. I mean, he's not playing well.
Exactly.
Because he is old.
Yeah, like if you would have told me Kovacic was going to be more consistent than De Bruyne this year, I would have been like, shut up.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I love that you noted this, Nathan. Nottingham Forest has never beaten Man City.
Even when Nottingham Forest was good?
Yeah, but Man City wasn't even in the top flight when Nottingham Forest was good.
That is true, yeah.
So... yeah, they've only played 5 times. 4 wins for Man City, 1 draw.
Something to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah. I think I think I was going to say Newcastle. I think Nottingham Forest kind of gets the monkey off their back here and gets their first win over Man City.
I completely agree. I'm going to go a 1-0 win for Forest.
Yeah. I'm going to go 2-1. I think Nottingham Forest is going to open up some scoring.
Okay.
Chris Wood.
Yeah.
Okay. Next match, Brighton versus Fulham. Neck and neck in the table. Just another great matchup. Lot to look to, though. Tariq Lamptey did get a red card in that last game against Newcastle, so he's going to be suspended for this game. Sasa Lukic, not as nearly as important as Tariq Lamptey, but still an important player. He'll be suspended for this game. We know that Brighton deals with injuries all year round, but they are on some fantastic form.
Back to back against Chelsea in the last 5.
Unbelievable.
Fucking
get the wins over Chelsea. They thrash Southampton like they should. They beat Bournemouth, and then the big 2-1 win over Newcastle with a late winner in the FA Cup was a big deal. Actually, I don't know if Lamptey's red card transfers over to Premier League play, so that could be wrong there. I'm not sure. But then Fulham is so weird. I don't know what to think about them ever. I mean, nothing is consistent about the way Fulham plays.
I mean, if you're getting one over Nottingham Forest 2-1, you shouldn't be losing to Crystal Palace 2-0, and you shouldn't be tying United 1-1.
No, you should not be tying United 1-1. It just doesn't make any sense right now with Fulham and the way they're playing. It just makes me feel like you have to side with Brighton.
Yeah,
you just feed the hot hand in this kind of matchup when
sure.
these two teams are close in the table. And I mean, when it comes down to it, the only reason they're close is because Brighton's been going down and Fulham's been coming up.
Yep.
And it's that Fulham's been staying in the same spot, and Brighton's just kind of come down to their level.
Definitely.
Now Brighton's kind of picking it right back up, and I think Brighton probably gets the best of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Brighton here.
Okay, I'm gonna go 2-0 Brighton.
Okay.
Just not looking for goals here from Fulham.
Yeah.
Last one, Aston Villa and Brentford. Certainly a matchup where one team has just stayed in the same spot and one team has met them at the bottom.
Yeah.
This is, I believe, the 9-10 matchup in the league. Might be 8-10, but Aston Villa just plummeting every single week. It's just another shit show. They're somehow winning games in the Champions League, which I don't get. They did beat Chelsea a couple weeks ago, 2-1. But then
who
they lost
has
to
it?
Palace. Yeah, I mean, and also we keep talking about teams losing to Crystal Palace. That's another one. Who hasn't? I mean, Crystal Palace has been flying. So a 4-1 loss to Crystal Palace might really not be as bad as it seems. 2-0 win over Cardiff City in the FA Cup, or maybe the Carabao Cup. Fuck it, fine. No, not the Carabao Cup. I already know. Newcastle versus Liverpool in the final in a couple weeks. FA Cup. And then the 3-1 win over Club Brugge in the Champions League. I feel like Villa in the Champions League has gotten really lucky with some matchups recently.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They're not going to get as lucky next round, but they'll probably make it through. Villa's another team where I just can't read them right now.
Brentford's going to beat them.
Are they?
I think so.
And Brentford at home. That was a thing in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
But it was also
right.
because at home they played all the bad teams, and on the road they played all the good ones. So.
Yeah.
7 draws between these sides in history. That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. I do like that. 7 draws is interesting because I was trending towards 1. I think I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw here. Actually, no. 2-2 draw. Both these sides will score some goals.
2-0 Brentford. Yeah.
Interesting. I like that. Okay, rest of the schedule.
Ugh.
Pull this up real quick on my
Wow.
side so I don't have to read off the screen.
I just want everybody to know that my head just like unpopped. It's been I've been underwater all day,
Nice.
and I just freed myself.
Well, that was a good idea now that we're almost done with this podcast. Okay, the rest of the schedule: Nottingham Forest, Man City, Brighton, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Liverpool, Southampton. Shout out to NBC for actually nationally televising good matches.
Hey,
Nottingham Forest and Man City at 7:30 in the morning, which if you want to wake up, it'll be on USA. And Brighton, Fulham, the best matchup of the 10 o'clock slate. Shout out to them for that.
yeah,
And on NBC, Brentford and Aston Villa. The 3
Hey!
matchups that were the best matchups of the week are all being nationally televised. How about it? A lot of nationally televised games. I mean, does NBC have nothing to cover this week? Sunday morning, Chelsea and Leicester at 10 o'clock on
Love
USA. Spurs, Bournemouth, you're going to have to catch it on Peacock if you're stupid enough to watch it. And then I believe we're going to be on NBC again. NBC again for Manchester United and Arsenal. I mean, fuck, we're getting a
Dude, this is
chance to watch some
amazing.
soccer. And then on Monday, West Ham and Newcastle on USA.
Hey, that one's gonna be a good game, too.
How about it? I actually get to watch some Newcastle, and it's not an FA Cup match that we lose. Really looking forward to that Carabao Cup match. We need the win. Yeah. I need a trophy this season. Yeah, that's the rest of the schedule. Next weekend, we got more matches, and then after that, we got an international break. Okay, Champions League. Let's hit it. Let's hit the Champions League. One hell of a way to start off the round of 16. These leg ones were awesome. First batch, I wouldn't say was as good as the second batch.
No.
Not at all. I mean, the second batch is hard to match. I mean, we might not get a better match day all season. Club Brugge 1, Aston Villa 3. I don't think there's much to really talk about here. It was just Aston Villa was destined to win this game with the squad that they have. I mean, I don't even know who scored the goals. I'll be honest. I did not pay attention to that one.
I didn't catch any of the Tuesday games, but I watched all the Wednesday games.
Yeah, let me actually pull up these games as we go. We can move on, though, to the next one if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, so we got really fortunate in the draw for this one. The Madrid Derby in the Champions League. Real Madrid 2, Atletico 1. Of course, I guess the second leg, moving to an away ground for the other team doesn't really matter here because it's in the same city.
But, I mean, the atmosphere in the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be a big difference.
And even on the pitch, these teams hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't wait for this second leg. Atletico, they have their backs up against the wall. It's going to be a really good game.
Yeah. And the goal scorers in this one, Rodrigo in the 4th, and then Alvarez equalized in the 32nd, and then a 55th minute. Yeah. 55th minute from Brahim Diaz in the 55th minute.
Another worldie.
Yeah, that was another great goal scored. I saw an interesting comparison. Did I send it to you on Instagram of Julian Alvarez? And there's somebody that they were comparing him to. Now I can't think of who it was. Another young player. Shit. Oh, Julian Alvarez and I believe Vinicius Jr. Very interesting comparisons between the two.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. I might have sent it to you on Instagram. I'm not sure.
I'll go ahead and run into this third game. PSV versus Arsenal. Holy shit! And hey, shout out to Ethan Wanyeri. Scored in this game as well. He's been amazing for Arsenal.
He was
right
in
wing.
Luke's Premier League Team of the Month. If you haven't watched it, if you're a TikTok watcher, please go watch it because I know you haven't seen it.
Needs so much love.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah,
I think we might have struck out on experimenting with what time we posted.
But hey, we can be happy that it was probably the best one we've done so far.
Quality wise, for sure,
definitely.
For
sure. Arsenal put 7 past PSV and they only got 1 back. So should there be a second leg? No.
Will there be? Yes, and it's in London, so I would assume it could only get worse.
I love the riff there. Those poor.
Also, PSV's only goal was a penalty.
Ugh, man,
brutal. Goals coming from Urian Timber, so that's a bad way to start.
In the Netherlands as well. I mean, imagine going to that game as a PSV fan.
Ugh. Yeah, and you've got Urian Timber kicking your ass, and former Ajax players starting off the game.
Yeah.
And then Wanyeri in the 21st, Moreno in the 31st, Odegaard with a brace the 47th minute. He later scored in the 73rd. Trossard in the 48th. I mean, coming back from half and you go Odegaard in the 47th, Trossard in the 48th is abysmal. And that makes you go down 5-1.
Yeah.
And then, Odegaard in the 73rd, Calafiori in the 85th. So 2 defenders scoring in this game, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Unbelievable.
4th game, moving on. Borussia Dortmund, Lille tied 1-1.
Love this.
This is such a good matchup.
Oh, my God. I mean, Lille has been one of the hottest teams throughout this entire Champions League run, and Dortmund has been unbelievable. I mean, they have the leading goal scorer in Serhou Guirassy, Adeyemis, who's got on the board for them in the 22nd minute. Haraldson scored the 68th minute one that equalized and soon got them the draw for Lille. But, I mean, taking this match back to Lille is huge. I mean, going and playing at Signal Iduna Park
in front of the yellow wall,
in front of the yellow wall, and getting a draw is massive.
That's incredible.
I mean, that's as good as a win.
Yeah,
really.
I completely agree.
Unbelievable performance for Lille to get that point. Well, I mean, it's not a point, but I mean, to get that draw and take this back for a second leg in France is huge.
Massive.
Absolutely huge. But day 2 was unbelievable. I mean, day
Holy
2
shit.
just did not miss in any matchup. I mean, Inter versus Feyenoord was maybe the worst, but
still good.
Bayern Munich and Leverkusen might have been the most unevenly matched, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But Feyenoord 0, Inter 2. I mean, you can probably talk about this most with the most passion. I didn't watch much of the first half.
Yeah.
You saw the first half. Feyenoord kept it close.
Oh, for sure. The scoreline really doesn't do Feyenoord justice. They look great the whole time, and I just love to see that because it's a team ran by Robin van Persie.
Yes.
You just gotta love it,
Yes.
and that was his boyhood club too. It just you like I said, you just gotta love it.
But Inter.
Inter, there's a reason that they've only conceded like 2 goals the entire Champions League, and it's because their park the bus style is insane. And like, what's crazy about watching Inter is like coaches and analysts, they always want to talk about, oh, this player tracks back so well. Inter tracks forward well.
Yes. Yes.
Like their offense, it does so well. Lautaro Martinez is definitely one of the best Inter strikers of all time. And he pairs so well with Thuram. You have your creator and then your bruiser. And then the last point, I texted Grayson, it literally looked like Inter was playing with 32 players when they didn't have the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing about watching Inter play is that they get back so well. Everybody can defend.
Yes.
I mean, everybody can defend. You will see Thuram or Lautaro Martinez or somebody in this lineup make an interception in the other half. Like, it's unbelievable what you'll see out of these guys. And I mean, when you line up with this 5 at the back with Bastoni, first of all, stepping up and playing left wing back is huge out of him, who's just a center back. He just simply is a center back.
He's changing the game.
Yeah, and I mean, Benjamin Pavard, who has played fullback at times in his career, moving to that right center back and allowing Dumfries to play so far up the field. Tactically, Inzaghi has one of the most insane and well-run lineups in the world.
Completely agree.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable to watch as well.
And when you have the center mid pairing of Zelezny and Barella, it gets even more unfair. And then De Vrij, your guy in the center of defense, and Dumfries, like one of the most underrated players in the world right now. He plays that right wing back so well.
Yeah, and by the way, Jan Sommer, just not even the starting goalie. Josep Martinez, the Spaniard, starting in goal. As well for Inter, and he was great. I mean, he doesn't even have to do much because the ball rarely gets that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, Inter just unbelievable. A masterclass in parking the bus against Feyenoord. PSG Liverpool is the biggest robbery that's ever happened. I mean, Liverpool 1-0. It's unbelievable. 65% possession.
28
for PSG.
shots to 2.
Alisson Becker. I mean, we made this joke. I'm not going to make this joke on the podcast, but we made a joke about what Alisson deserves after this kind of performance. It's unbelievable what he did to bail out this defense that was honestly just not good. I mean, so many problems with the defense from Liverpool in this match.
Well, not only problems in the defense, they just kept losing the ball. Even Mohamed Salah, completely a non-factor in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest thing that Mo Salah did was leave the pitch.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott comes on, first time he touches the ball, scores a beautiful goal. Just gets deflected off the outstretched arm from Donnarumma and gets into the goal. But I mean, how unfair for Donnarumma to be across the field from such a performance by Alisson, and then the one big opportunity Liverpool gets, they put it past you,
and you get a hand on it.
Yeah, brutal. Yeah, he was cold. I mean,
Player of the game in this one for me, Kvaratskhelia.
Yes.
Kvaratskhelia?
Oh,
Kvaratskhelia.
It's Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia. Thank you, God.
It's a tough one. I kind of say it differently like every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kvaratskhelia or Shelia, whatever it is. Bradley Barcola also
amazing,
phenomenal.
Yes.
When they took him off late in the game, I knew it was obviously just fitness wise, but I mean, and unbelievable.
Ousmane Dembele too, one of the best players in the world since the new year.
Yeah.
He looked like it against Liverpool, just no goals.
Yeah, I mean, Barcola had 3 shots in a row, or they had that 3 straight opportunities where Alisson made a great save, and then I think Alexander-Arnold got in front of the ball on one.
Yep.
And then Alisson once again made a crazy athletic save as well. It was just a masterclass in defending, particularly goalkeeping by Liverpool. Yeah. 23 runs into the penalty area.
To 1.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah. And this was, I even texted
9
Grayson
saves for Alisson.
This game genuinely made me mad. Because I've never seen PSG look this good before.
PSG was the better team for 85 minutes. I mean, once they made those substitutions, it clearly shifted towards Liverpool. But I mean, PSG for 85 minutes, and you had a disallowed goal from Kvaratskhelia early in this
Which
game.
was a banger.
Oh, yeah.
And that your heel was offsides.
Yeah.
So it's not even like
Brutal.
it's your fault.
Yeah, I mean, it was because like one attempt failed, and he didn't get back on side.
Exactly.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
But also, once again, a masterclass in what Arne Slot has done very well this season,
Yep.
which is just having your players play smart.
Yeah.
I mean, Liverpool plays smart, and that's what they've done so well.
I think, and I wanted to pose this question to you. What PSG did really well, obviously, was their offense. Their shots were coming from everywhere, but they essentially play with like 3 wingers.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they missed out on having a striker in this game?
You could definitely say it. I mean, there's not necessarily a goal scorer in the lineup when you look at it. Barcola, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia at the front.
Yeah.
Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz are not going to score goals from the midfield. I agree with you there, for sure.
Of course, I want to tread lightly when I say that because Dembele's scored like 18 goals since the new year. He's been unbelievable. But I just feel like none of your chances were really close to Becker.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at their roster, the guys that were available, I mean, it's just Gonzalo Ramos.
Oh, Doué was a super sub.
Desiree Doué was a fantastic
Holy
substitute.
cow. He had another shot that Alisson Becker totally robbed him of.
Yeah,
That was
19
amazing.
years old as well,
Yeah.
Desiree Doué. Very good. But I mean, your only striker on the bench, Gonzalo Ramos, which, I mean, it's probably better if he doesn't come in the game.
Yeah.
At this point.
Definitely.
Okay. Should we move on? Nathan you had a great stat pulled up, but we were in the middle of a conversation about passes into the attacking third. I mean, what was that? It was unbelievable. It was like 63 or something for PSG. 68 passes in the attacking third.
To 20.
Unreal. I mean, that's crazy.
Passes into key play area, 58 to 18.
Yeah, and we had already, the passes in the penalty area, 14 is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on, though, to, like what I said. Somehow, such a great matchup on paper turned into one of the most unevenly matched games I've ever seen, maybe, especially in the second half.
Yeah,
It got really sloppy.
I think the difference maker was Leverkusen just made dumb tackles, dumb fouls.
God,
It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, Mukiele made a bad tackle. I believe in the first half he got booked for his first. And then the second one he's already on a yellow. Yeah. Steps on the back of the guy's ankle. I think it was Kingsley Coman. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It was Kingsley Coman. He stepped on the back of the ankle of. Looked relatively intentional. And instead of just getting a second yellow, they VAR it and give him a direct red. So he's going to get that suspension for the next leg.
Yeah, to me, I would actually go back on it. As a former defender, I don't think it was intentional because his reaction, as soon as he stepped on the heel of Kingsley Coman, his head, his hands just went
he
to
realized
his head.
that he did it.
And as a defender, it's so hard. To be honest, a good defender would never think, "Oh, I'm on a yellow," before I'm about to make a
That's
play.
fair.
So
fair.
It's a shame that happened to him, but you can't be making a tackle like that. It was silly.
Yeah, and especially in the position he was in. I think that's what the issue was, is where the ball was in relation to this.
You weren't going to get there.
No, you were never going to get that ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my issue with it. But Harry Kane, 9th-minute goal that immediately puts them up. Leverkusen's already kind of scrambling at that point. And then when it got to the second half, they lost their head. I mean, it just looked so bad over and over and over again. So many bad mistakes. Musiala scores in the 54th, and then Kane scores that penalty late, which, once again, that was just such an obvious penalty as well. Stupid mistake on a corner in the box. What are you doing kind of thing. Yep. And, you just see Xabi Alonso on the sideline just losing it. At one point, I think it was the 80th minute, he just, he just, put his head in his hands. I mean, and I don't blame him at all because that team looked ridiculous.
Yeah. I think Jonathan Todd did more, he did more complaining than he did defending in that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I made a joke to you about Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. Imagine how much better Harry Kane would be if he had gone to Manchester City. All these times he was linked there.
Oh, I know.
I mean, Erling Haaland is, I don't know, a center back outside of the box.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Harry Kane, I mean, he's making passes to start off an attack.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing things nobody else is doing. And he has Jamal Musiala to play off of him. That beautiful little heel flick that he hit.
Yeah.
Like midair fucking, like he just kind of flipped his leg out at it.
Yeah.
Just put it up right in front of him.
You're 30 for 30 on your last 30 penalties as well. And I love the point that you just made. Harry Kane, everything that he does outside of his finishing is incredibly underrated.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on from this game. Leverkusen was a mess. Last one, Barcelona and Benfica.
Oh, what a game this was, too.
I mean, Barcelona going down to 10 men. How early was that Kubarsi red
It was
card?
like 20.
That's
22.
That's crazy.
Minute 22.
And what's crazy is that Kubarsi getting that red card and Barcelona playing with 10 men made these two teams even.
Yeah.
I mean, playing with one less person on the field for Barcelona made this an evenly matched game. And they still went into the half up 60-40 possession.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a little bit unfair to Benfica because if you remember when they played Matchday 7 also in Portugal, Benfica were like 2-1.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
No, they were 3-1 up at one point in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Benfica just plays Barcelona really well this season. I think Barcelona have proven over and over again, not even just in this game, but like they are the best team 10 men down.
Oh, yeah.
Because they still just have that style of like kind of like watching Spain in the Euros. They're not going to let you touch the ball, even if they're a player down.
I mean, and we've talked about how Hansi Flick has definitely brought a different air to Barcelona.
For sure.
It's so offensive heavy. This game showed the versatility in his tactics.
Yeah.
I mean, this game showed that like they can pass it around the back and wait for something to break and just like constantly play at every single level of the field. It's such an efficient level. And like you have things that like you don't even see these moments happen until you think back on them. Like Alex Balde, they were in a horrible spot. Benfica got a pass off into the attacking third. They shoot. I think it gets saved. Ball falls like just outside the penalty area to Balde. He makes an incredible run up the field, dodging defenders left and right, and then draws a yellow card at the midway point of the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's those little things that this team does, and it comes from everybody.
Yeah,
that makes them so good, and that's why they get into a position where they force Benfica to make a mistake. They make an errant pass. A guy who's been playing well all game, I think it was the right back. They got subbed on. He was playing really well when he came in.
I'm not sure.
Not sure who it was though. Sorry, give me one moment. Wait, no, maybe it wasn't the back. It was something, I believe it was Martinez. No, was it Antonio Silva?
He started.
Yeah, it was Antonio Silva that made the errant pass in the back line that fell to Rafinha, and then Rafinha, what a finish.
Made kind of a goal out of nothing.
Yeah.
There, which was insane.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he was like the only Barcelona player on that side of the field.
Yeah, and I don't think it gets talked about enough, but like the front three of Yamal, who I know he's on a goal drought, he's still shifty.
Oh, yeah.
Lewandowski and Rafinha is such a bitch for other teams to try to go against. Like, they're so versatile. And I don't know. I just love Rafinha's goal scoring ability. He can do it from anywhere on the field.
And what's kind of insane is the fact that in the 28th minute, I thought this was crazy. Hansi Flick subbed off Ronald Araujo, I don't know how to say it, for Danny Olmo. That move almost makes zero sense. But
especially with the red card. Yeah.
Yeah, with the red card. It makes no sense. But all they did was just shift this to a 3 at the back and essentially just play like 3-3-3.
Yeah.
And widen out the back line, which I thought was crazy, but it worked.
They were almost too prepared to go 10 men down.
Yeah.
Like scarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barcelona just looked really good, but I seriously don't want to take anything away from Benfica.
No, they
also
played
looked
great.
Really good.
They played great. I mean, it's only a 1-0 difference. Obviously, now they're going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
But, like, it could still be close.
And, another player I wanted to shout out, Wojciech Szczesny was, I think, just below Alisson Becker as far as performance.
I mean, both keepers in this game were good.
Yeah, that's a good point. Benfica's goalie was good as well. Don't know his name, but yeah.
Is it still what's that guy? The Greek dude.
Valichimos is in the Premier League now.
Oh, is he?
Somewhere. Yeah.
Nathan, can you scroll up real quick just to see the goalie for Trubin? But he's Ukrainian. They like to get Ukrainian guys.
Wow,
there you
look
go.
at that.
They love getting Ukrainian guys.
They do.
Okay. So next week, everybody plays again. That's how this works. So we'll have all the games from Wednesday this coming Tuesday for leg 2. So Barcelona, Benfica, Liverpool, PSG, Inter, Feyenoord, Leverkusen, Bayern. And then on Wednesday, all right, we're back. Battery overheated again. That's on me. I thought we could get through the full episode without it. We're sticking with the camera, so there might be another pause. I'll be honest. There might be another pause. I put in a fresh battery. We unplugged it from the power supply. Hopefully that will help. We put a fan blowing on it as well. Hopefully you guys don't have to hear the fan in the background. But should be resolved. We were wrapping up Champions League. I don't know exactly where we were. You can find the schedule if you want it. Nathan has a tweet to show us before we move on. So what do we got, Nathan?
I do. As you guys know, I'm a huge Roki Sasaki fan. Or whatever you want to say.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
I was going to say it as soon as we came back. Jaguars releasing Evan Ingram.
What the fuck?
Very interesting. So if anybody needs a tight end out there.
That could be a
can't block.
re-sign deal.
That's a good one.
That could be a re-sign deal.
Go ahead and get the Falcons on the phone.
No.
All right. So, like I said, I'm a big Roki Sasaki guy.
Yeah.
Well, we have a view of Roki Sasaki's release point on all 46 of his pitches from 2 nights ago.
Oh, cool.
Whoa. I mean, that's consistency.
That is the definition of tunneling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good fucking luck hitting that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 4-seam splitter and slider all coming from
Luke,
the
I'm
exact
glad to
same
hear you
spot.
talking about tunneling.
That's Trevor Bauer for you.
And pitching ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And Dustin May. Is he the
Speaking-
pitching ninja?
no,
No.
Dustin.
2 different
May-
accounts.
Yes. Speaking of pitching ninja, here is a look at his fastball versus his splitter.
Fuck off.
You
Wait,
can't-
just wait.
I mean, you know what's insane?
Ready? Release point, same spot.
God.
Okay, hang on. Right next to each other, halfway through. Goodbye,
Where do you learn to do that?
Japan.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing. There's guys that I've gotten to talk to through work that are like sophomores, juniors in high school, pitching at the highest level, that are working on tunneling already. I mean, what are we even talking about?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's insane. Dude.
there's probably guys that have won multiple Cy Youngs in the MLB that didn't know about tunneling until 30 years after they retired. There's probably guys that didn't even know about like release point consistency before they got to the MLB.
That is the peak of consistency.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
There's no way it can get better.
no,
That's like a
unreal.
robot.
So
Yeah.
if you want to know where this is learned, I want you guys, can someone read this tweet for me?
Yeah, this is from Jack Barry on Twitter. My sister teaches 5th grade. Tells me she's got a student who moved from Japan. All he does in his free time is dry reps of his pitching delivery. I love this. And he apparently throws 65 as a 10-year-old. That's unbelievable.
Get the fuck out of
There's
here.
a video.
That is unbelievable. I'm continuously intrigued by Asian baseball culture. Yeah, I mean, that's
beautiful mechanics.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Also, that blur went away
Yeah.
a little early. saw little man's face, but
He's even got a swing.
I mean,
Just like Shohei.
shout out to the kid. He's a righty though.
Yeah.
Very Shohei.
His mechanics look phenomenal.
Yeah, his
though.
mechanics are
At
great.
10 years old.
Just got to grow.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. He's a little small.
I can't close my mouth.
Pause.
I just
That was
Whoa.
great. Thank you for bringing that.
There's an
That's
alarm
nice.
going off, Grayson.
Yeah, I think there is.
I think it's
I think it's about the
think it's
detonate.
about that time.
Yeah, it is about that time.
whoop whoop whoop.
Is that the questions time alarm? Somebody clip that for me, please.
Yeah.
It's questions time. Our favorite time on this podcast, and we get to do it live today.
Doing it live.
We might be, picking up the pace here just so this camera battery doesn't die, but don't worry, it is still our favorite part of the podcast. All right, Nathan, get it started.
all right. Here we go. Who is the coolest person you've interacted with so far in 2025? New person.
Oh man, if you would have said 2024, I could have done some name dropping.
My photojournalism professor.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
You want a name drop?
mean,
Yeah, sure. Professor Mark Johnson at the University of Georgia. He's wonderful.
I haven't been interacting with a lot of people. I'll be honest.
You've done some
Not in
interviews.
2025. Yeah,
Cool people.
I have done some interviews.
Luke, you got any stories while he's thinking?
From like the coolest person.
Yeah, with him. With your professor.
Yeah, I could tell one, but it probably could take a little bit of time.
Shorten it a little bit.
Okay, so obviously at this point in college, all your professors are super distinguished in the
Yeah.
field that you want to go into, so they're super interesting. One time when my photojournalism professor was a working photojournalist, he was at an orphanage. he took pictures without even looking through his viewfinder of this kid running around playing in the orphanage while he was interviewing the lady who ran the orphanage. That picture that he took ended up being used on the front page of that newspaper.
Oh, wow.
And so a week goes by. The orphanage lady calls my photojournalism professor and is like, you have no idea what that picture did. And my photojournalism professor's like, well, what are you talking about? She was like, we have received over 100 calls trying to adopt this kid.
Wow.
So their orphanage
That's
blew
amazing.
up because of that picture that my professor took.
Fuck.
That's awesome.
I thought you meant it blew up like it exploded. I was like, what the fuck? No, okay.
Bad
Proceed.
phone call.
Yeah.
Proceed.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Just shout out to
That's awesome.
Mark Johnson.
I'm gonna go with obviously a lot of my stuff's high school baseball that I'm around. So I'm gonna go with Reeston Durham, Texas commit 2026 out of Decula. Guy's just
Out of Decula.
yeah, he is gonna be a dog. I mean, I got some great photos of him that I shared with him and posted on the Lake Point accounts. But yeah, he was super cool. He is gonna be. He's already like so professional. I think that's something that's so interesting to see from some of the younger guys that I get to like be around. That sounds so weird. The way I said that. Yeah, the guys I get to interview and get to interact with, seeing how professional youth baseball players are now. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I think I'd go with Reeson. He's just a great guy.
It's almost like media training is
Yeah.
becoming a
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, high schools are having to media train these guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Etowah is the number 4 team in the nation, and they've just got there's guys there every night. I mean, I was one of them, but there's people there every night
It's insane.
taking photos and videos.
You're 14 years old learning how to tunnel and talk to the press.
Yeah, it's pretty
ridiculous.
crazy. It's pretty
There's
crazy.
a lot of 14-year-olds learning
Yeah.
how to tunnel.
I
What
guess
3
that's fair.
pitchers will have over 200 Ks this season?
Sorry, what?
What 3 pitchers will
3
get over?
pitchers?
Just give me 3. There could be more.
Yeah.
There could be less. Who knows? Just give me 3 who you think will do it.
I'll go with Luis Castillo as one of them. He's fresh on the mind. I don't think Strider will be back in time. Give me Skeens. I don't think Skeens has a sophomore slump. It's just it doesn't seem like it's in his DNA. I really don't. I think the guy's a robot, man.
I'll take Garrett Cole, Castillo.
So you're both banking on Luis Castillo.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
a strikeout guy.
He is.
That's what he does.
Damn.
I
Third guy?
got my third.
Damn.
I got Skeens, Castillo, and Zach Wheeler.
The local boy.
Trying to think.
Yep. Shout out Zach Wheeler.
Um,
The pride of
Pablo
East
Lopez.
Paulding? Pablo
Really?
Lopez. I like that.
I
He'll
like
be my
that one.
third. Yeah.
All right.
Believe Zach Wheeler went to East Paulding. Believe he was a Raider.
Shout out.
Nice. If you have to choose one for the rest of your life, would you rather eat only Italian cuisine or Chinese cuisine?
Italian.
Chinese
Chinese.
specifically.
Chinese.
Italian.
Easily Chinese. I mean, Nathan knows my favorite restaurant. We go there 4 or 5 times a year
Yeah, every
for
birthday. now.
birthdays. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Love
right.
Chinese.
Top 2 dishes, go.
Top 2? I mean,
I already. This was actually a question recently
yeah.
for you guys was Asian cuisine dishes.
Yeah.
And I know Luke said he's not a big fan.
Mm-mm.
So, what's your go-to Italian?
Wow. Manicotti. Underrated.
Interesting.
Wow.
Underrated manicotti.
Interesting.
Knows Italian ball.
Yes. And then probably something like kind of basic, like a really good chicken Alfredo.
Nice.
Okay.
Like an authentic chicken Alfredo or like
I
an
mean,
Americanized chicken
I
Alfredo?
can't.
Honestly, either one.
It's not.
I'm satisfied.
If you're having chicken Alfredo, it's not that authentic
That's true.
because they don't put meat in their pasta.
Yeah, that's true.
very American thing
Yeah.
to
Isn't
put meat in your pasta.
Alfredo like a very American
Yeah, I
thing
think it is,
too?
too.
Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Italian Alfredo is like milk and butter, or it's like cream and butter, and that's
Yeah.
God, that
that's
sounds
it.
like
I mean, it's
That's what it
a
sounds like on your
bechamel,
plate as well.
essentially.
yeah,
It literally just sounds
you're
like slop mess.
forking through the pasta. That
It's olive oil and
I mean,
cream.
I think we've already talked about my go-to Chinese
Yes.
things, but it's not normal things that people would go and get.
No.
I mean, twice cooked pork belly is just not on every Chinese menu.
But is that what you're eating every day? Like these
I
got to
mean,
be.
I would.
This
The
is-
variety
this
of
you're eating it
vegetables
every
in
day.
that mixture as well at the
That's
place we get
true.
it at is just so good. Crispy beef is a little much.
Yeah. Gets a little spicy every now and then.
Not even that. It's just it's an intense flavor profile with the cilantro and the Sichuan peppercorns. I think I could go with General Tso's. I think because at least I know like I can get that just about anywhere.
That's true.
That's the nice thing about General Tso's. If I'm going my 2 Italian dishes though, I know mine as well.
What you got?
Chicken parm's unbelievable. I mean,
Okay.
I don't give a fuck about authenticity.
Yeah.
And then just a good pesto on.
Ooh, yeah.
Just straight up, just pesto, probably like burrata, on top of either fettuccine or penne. My 2 favorite.
Favorite noodle?
Yeah, those are my top 2, fettuccine and penne. If I'm going for a small one, I'm going penne. If I'm going for like long,
You got a favorite
fettuccine.
noodle shape?
Angel hair.
Ugh.
Penne.
I know Grayson hates angel hair.
Big
I like
angel hair
angel
hater.
hair.
The thinner, the worse, in my opinion. That's why I like fettuccine.
Trying to think. It's not macaroni, but there's another one that starts with an M. I feel like that's really good too.
I have no idea.
Can't think of it. Well,
There's too many.
since you spoke on Italian food, I wanted to speak on Chinese food.
Yeah. Did you just look up Chinese food?
Yeah, I had to
That's
remember
crazy.
what the soups were.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I haven't gotten it in a while. But
Yeah.
wonton and egg drop, fire
Fair enough.
soups.
Big
There is
Asian
very
soup.
good. Yeah,
Asian soups,
are
like,
good.
is-
Oh,
Is
it's the
miso?
best.
Is miso soup Chinese?
Or
is that Japanese?
Ooh.
I think it's a hibachi thing, which is Japanese.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I don't know.
I was gonna do just Asian cuisine,
Yeah.
but I figured I'd make it more specific since we were just doing it.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Who will be the first player to 10 home runs this season? First player to double
Ooh.
digits.
The AOS is just so fresh on my mind. I want to keep going AOS.
I was literally going to say Mike Trout.
I was going to say Jordan.
Who you going with? Luke's not going with Judge.
I mean, that's kind of crazy. Not going. I mean, it's
We're not going with Stanton.
every other year Matt Olson. I'm just saying. Watch out.
The every other year Matt Olson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dog every other year.
Trying to think of like another.
Oh, wait, hold on. Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, I was in that discussion right now. He will be the
Yeah.
first to 10 home runs. He'll be the first to 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, probably.
Really?
Maybe 60. Who fucking knows? If he's not
Wow.
pitching, he'll get 60, probably. He'll just steal less bases.
He might just go for 70-70 this year.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I mean,
100-100.
if he can,
Something
that'd be
light.
cool.
Yeah. That was it for me. Mike
Oh,
Trout. Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
like it.
Fuck it.
March Madness predictions?
I know nothing.
Yeah. Same.
I mean,
Fair enough. I
you
don't
asked
either.
the 2 wrong guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Colin wanted me to throw this in here because of his cousin
Yeah.
Yeah.
who coaches women's basketball, and I
Oh,
said I'm not
cool.
asking them about women's college basketball.
No, shout out to Mississippi State.
Fair enough, but like
Shout out Mississippi State women's basketball.
Colin's got a cousin that coaches for Mississippi State.
head coach.
Women. What?
Is it
Wow.
Sam Purcell? Is that right?
I think so. I think that is his name. He's been around for a little bit, coaching in a couple different schools.
Assistant coach at Louisville
Yeah,
women's
Whoa.
basketball. Yeah.
great basketball coach.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yep.
Shout out.
Shout out Mississippi State women's
Yeah.
basketball.
So
Hail State.
you guys should comment
women's
your March Madness predictions and help Grayson and I out.
Help us all
Yeah.
pick a bracket.
I mean,
maybe we should do
yeah.
a bracket.
Who are the 2 favorites? Auburn and Duke right now? Is that right?
Probably. I don't know.
That's what I know.
Auburn looks amazing.
Sure.
I do know that.
I haven't looked. That's the problem. I don't know who
good.
looks good because I haven't been looking. All I know Big Cat is 12-0 this month in March so far.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
did
crazy.
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got a Who Am I?
Yep.
So I have 2 different versions of this Who Am I. I'm going to let
Okay.
you guys decide which one we do. I made clues, and I let Snapchat AI make clues.
Interesting. I mean, I think we should maybe.
I kind of want to try out the AI.
Yeah.
In a way.
Which one do you think's harder? I mean, that's how we should go about it.
Probably AI.
Okay, let's go AI.
All right.
The truth.
I was born on January 27th, 1995 in Baltimore.
Oh, you know who that is.
What? Sorry.
January 27th, 1995 in Baltimore is where I was
95
born.
Baltimore. What sport? Sorry. Oh,
Oh, crap.
we don't even know what sport.
We only have a birthday?
Okay.
First part's pretty hard.
How are you not giving us the sport?
It didn't give me one.
I mean,
Oh, Michael Phelps.
yeah, he's a Baltimore guy.
Yeah.
It is not Michael Phelps.
He's probably born in the 80s, though. He's a little bit older.
Yeah, he was definitely not born in 95.
Yeah.
I mean, he was swimming in like the 04 Olympics. I think.
Yeah.
I was drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the second round of the
Okay.
2016 MLB draft.
95. Giants draft pick. What are we
Baseball draft
talking
is so different.
what are we talking popularity wise? Did he even go when he got drafted in the second round? I mean,
Active player.
okay.
I'll give you that much.
Okay, that's fine. Giants.
I let Colin pick a player
Oh,
and just
fuck.
and then just use Snapchat AI to find the
Logan Webb.
No. Damn. You got a guess, Luke?
Um,
How old is 95? What is it? You're 30 now?
About to be if you're well.
No,
he
you
already
turned
had his-
30.
He already had his birthday, so yeah.
in January.
okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Interesting.
so he's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Mm,
Baltimore
guy.
native.
Baltimore native. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm going to say Pablo Sandoval, the panda.
No.
I don't think he's American.
He's not.
Definitely not from Baltimore.
I made my MLB debut in 2019 and quickly became known for my hitting skills.
2019 debutante.
The next two clues get so easy.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to get it here.
I'm gonna switch the order.
2019 MLB debut. He's a hitter. Drafted by the Giants. Makes me think he does not play for the Giants. Fuck. I mean, I can't. 2019.
I mean, I'm shafted on baseball knowledge anyway. So
yeah. I guess, yeah, move on. What's the next?
Kevin Pillar.
No.
Way too late of a debut in
I'm actually gonna-
2019.
I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna jump to one of my clues here,
Okay.
just because the next one is like really obvious, so I
Okay.
don't want to use it. I went to Vandy, and I am signed through 2030.
Okay, so he's got to be really good
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Or decent.
on
At
a
least decent. I mean,
long contract.
yeah, if he signed through 2030. Oh, fuck, man. I got to think Vandy guys now, which is just not easy.
Yeah, good luck. There's so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, Dansby was not drafted by the Giants. He wasn't a second round pick either. Shit.
Anthony was 1-1 by the Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah.
Ball knower.
Fuck. And all the rest of the Vandy guys I can think of are pitchers.
Makes sense.
Damn. I
I
mean,
didn't say
I
this
got
guy
it.
wasn't a pitcher.
Yeah, but he was known for his hitting, according to AI.
Hey.
I
NL
mean, it could be
teams.
Max Fried. he didn't go to Vandy. He didn't go to college. Shit. And he was drafted by the Padres.
That's ball knowledge.
Well, we traded for him from the Padres, so I know that.
Anyone got anything?
Shit. I just
Matt Chapman.
No, not drafted by the Giants. And 2019 debut was just fucking me. 2019 debut lines up with like Yordan Alvarez.
No.
Okay.
I was traded to the Pirates in 2018 as part of a deal for Andrew McCutchen.
Oh,
Wait.
whoa,
Hang on.
whoa.
What you got, Luke? Wait. I thought you had some.
I
I
mean,
don't. Like I
can we just start throwing stuff out there then?
Yeah, sure. Fuck
Is this the last hint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want me to just start giving you random ones from the ones I
Yeah.
made.
No. Brian Reynolds.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. That lined up timing wise.
Good work. Yeah, me and Colin were driving,
Fuck
and I
Colin.
said, Colin, give me a random player. He started with someone I had never heard of. And I said, are they active? And he goes, oh, no. And I go, okay, give me an active player. And he goes,
That's
Brian
crazy.
Reynolds. I went, all right, thank you.
That's insane.
Wow.
I mean, I probably would have done the same thing.
Damn it, Colin.
I would have picked some guy who like hasn't played in like 10 years. I would have picked like Joey Turdoslavich or something.
I would pick Tulo. He's got
Joey
like weird
Tulowitzki.
stats.
He does have weird stats. Yeah, Joey Turdoslavich replaced Freddie Freeman while he was injured for a little bit
Yeah.
before we got Matt Adams. Is that everything?
It is.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up then. I mean, what an efficient podcast. I mean, wow. Great. This is a great episode. Covered everything. I mean, I don't think we left any stones unturned today.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nathan for producing for us. It's been a
major
fantastic episode. Done a great job. Question time was awesome. Shout out to Luke for being in person with me. I mean, next time you'll be here in person. Draft night. Yeah, which is coming up. Make sure you guys are paying attention. Got a lot coming next week. My mock draft 1 drops. I'll say this. I put together my mock draft on Tuesday. I entirely changed it today. I mean, almost the entire draft has changed for me, based on some things. But I'm gonna hard cut myself on Monday morning. I'm stopping any changes on Monday morning and recording that video on Monday, getting it posted on Wednesday.
At least you have the whole weekend.
Yeah, I've got the weekend
for shit to come in.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of shit. I mean, a lot.
I'm really excited for the jersey that you will be debuting on
That is true.
draft day.
Luke was in Discord with me when I ordered the jersey that I'll be wearing. I'll just give you guys a hint. The player does not play there anymore.
The MILF Hunter.
Well, that's too much of a hint. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Future Hall of Famer. We'll say that.
Yeah.
MILF Hall of Famer. MILF fucking Hall of Famer. All right, I think I'm starting to get delusional. I think these lights are too bright. All right, Luke, thank you for joining me in person. Is there anything that you would like to give to people before we get out of here?
No.
Fair enough.
No.
Fuck you guys.
Have a
for
great day. Happy Friday. And baseball's right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Right
around the corner. Make sure you guys subscribe here on YouTube. You turn on post notifications. Give us a like. Go ahead and comment your AL West standings predictions. Comment your free agent predictions as well. I'm going to ask you to do that again on Monday, but still, whatever.
Yep. And March Madness predictions.
Yeah, and your March Madness predictions. Of course, if you're listening on the podcast platforms, rate 5 stars. Give us a follow. Honestly, at this point, just move over to YouTube. I'll be totally honest with you guys. Just move over to YouTube. Because if there's one episode of this podcast that gets less than maybe 3 downloads on the podcast platforms, I'm canceling my subscription. And it's moving strictly to YouTube. I mean, it's not even worth it over there at the moment.
Oh, man. Yeah, and Grayson got a new camera.
I got a new camera.
You look so much better.
Yeah, we do look better. The lighting's going to be figured out. I might have to give Don Khan a little ring to help me out with the lighting. But
Don Khan.
Yeah, we're going to get things figured out. In the meantime, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, stay up to date with the things we got going on over there. Follow us or join the Second and Short subreddit, r/2NDA short. And stay tuned. Big 2 months coming up. So keep up with everything. All right. That's going to do it for us. Enjoy the weekend. Catch you guys later. Peace.